In our world, we are being presented with many problems. Albert Einstein gave great advice in this matter when he said problems cannot be solved by the level of knowledge or awareness that created them. In other words, we have to get outside our own boxes. Well, a mystic sees beyond a box to what has been hidden or what has been forgotten, what is not seen. My name is Sriegie Maynard. It was curiosity that took me on a radical search for answers. And those answers came to me from ancient ones, those in spiritual worlds, unseen to the eye. And this knowledge foundations my podcast, A Mystic's View. Come as you are to see situations through my eyes as we sit together. Diversity, uniqueness, is a natural condition, a natural outcome within humanity, and hearing diverse ideas and thoughts expands our own capacities. So I encourage you to listen to A Mystic's View, to hear, to be enhanced, and to consider other possibilities. I welcome you to this journey. Hello, Sriegie Maynard here, and I thought it would be helpful and maybe even just interesting for me to give you an example of why a spiritual or energetic healing protocol is valuable in your wellness and in moving your life forward. Energy is stored in various parts of our life stream. Some we call the spiritual region, some the emotional body, and mental body, physical body. If there is energy in one place, an energy seed or storage or gift that lies hidden in any of those areas, it's going to eventually show up in all of them, and especially in the physical body, because that's how the law of manifestation works. So I'm 79. My body's pretty healthy. A couple of weeks ago, I started not feeling so good in the gut. And I didn't pay too much attention to it. I just drank more water, did a little bit of observing of it, figure, this will pass, take some probiotics, etc. So I did that, and it didn't go away. In fact, it kept getting just a little bit more uncomfortable. 2 weeks later, you'd think I would have got the message right at first, but I didn't. 2 weeks later, I went, wait a minute, I'm going to check this out because that's a very important part of the body, and I'm older, and who knows what's going on. So, of course, I use my own method on myself, the TAG Galactic System. So I turned to my team and said, do you know about this discomfort I'm feeling? And they did. And I do a little evaluation, and they say, you better get the energy part, because right now that's all it is energy. But if you don't take care of it at that level, it's going to begin to impact the physical and what we would call a disease. So, did my work. So what I did is I talked to that energy itself, and that's what a mystic Shah woman would do, because that energy contains intelligence. It's information. So I checked in and said, hey, pain in the gut, you're trying to tell me something. Now, here's what makes tag work different. I didn't go to my bookshelf and look at what other people say pain in the gut is. I didn't Google online to see what other people say pain in the gut is. I asked the pain itself, what is going on? Where are you, what's the information here? And as always, that in little kernel of information said, well, I'm here, and I'm settled right here in the gut, and I got triggered because of some interactions you're having to help clients work through discomfort in their relationship, stress in their relationship. And I got triggered. I said, really? What is it that you're holding? So this whole memory that I basically had forgotten about showed up. And here I am, 19 years old. So 60 years ago. 19 years old. I've been married for 2 months. My husband and I are living in a very small apartment in the basement of a bigger building, and our kitchen happens to be where the furnace for the building is. So our kitchen table, tiny, enough for two, sits right close to the furnace. My chair is by the furnace. His chair is more into the kitchen area by the stove. We're having dinner. I've cooked dinner, put it on the table, done my work for the day because I was employed at a 9 to 5. And we're eating and probably having a conversation. And he points out to me the bowl that held the green beans is empty. Now, I'm thrilled because I tried a new recipe and he must like those green beans because the bowl is empty. And I smile, so pleased with the recipe. I say, oh, there's more in the pan just behind you on the stove. And I hand him the bowl. And he looks at me, and I'm surprised. He looks at me like, what are you talking about? The bowl's empty. You get it. It's your job, basically is what he said. And I'm shocked. I grew up in a home where everybody kind of helped out. Mom, dad, kids. I thought, well, maybe he doesn't understand. So I said, I know, but the pan's right there by you. And he exploded. Shocked. I was shocked. I was confused. I figured I must have done something wrong, which I didn't know. And for 3 days, I got the silent treatment because my place is to XYZ, and don't expect him to do it. Here was a little experience, my first experience of abuse. I'd never seen it before, never experienced it before, so I had no name for it. I thought it was just kind of we're working things out kind of stuff. And so I had stored unconsciously that memory, that shock, that hurt, that confusion, and it had settled in the area that I would call the gut area, energy of the body. So because I have tools, that's what we do. We gain tools. I did the work to talk to that 19-year-old, to reframe the story, to restructure and teach my husband so he had opportunity also, and basically moved that whole energy into a place of healing. Did the work, had the tools, anchored it, activated a new pattern. Now, does that mean I won't go have a medical examination for this gut area? No. But I can tell you the symptoms are gone. And it's been 4 or 5 days now. The symptoms are gone. But that doesn't mean I'm going to assume that all is well. I'm going to watch it. I'm adding a little bit of difference to my diet, doing some physical things. And at my next exam, which was coming up, I will point that out and say, maybe we ought to check and see what's going on in my gut. That's the value of energy work. It's the value of knowing your own tools, not having to go to a book, because there wouldn't have been no book, I guarantee that would have linked that pain in my gut to my specific storage memory. I hope you get the picture. It's really important. It's the same with whether it's a feeling you're having, a thought that's running through, a pain in the body, a pain in the mind. You can transform trauma. You can release restrictions. You just need to understand what that looks like. Get yourself some tools. Signing off and watching for other clues to keep myself well. Blessings. Thanks for coming along and sharing this episode. These various stories may stretch your mind, challenge your dogma, awaken you to new possibilities, or resonate with your own experiences.
I'd love to hear any of that. You can always find me on Facebook at A Mystic's View, of course, and the same on YouTube, A Mystic's View. When you see the value of this podcast, please share with your friends. And I would love to have you give us a rating. Some stars would be wonderful. You can become a member of the Mystic's View community on Patreon. So there you can find us at www.patreon.com/A Mystic's View. The pressures of this world are rising. And what does that mean? And how can you effectively respond? My intentions is that my stories and sharings through this podcast will give you more insight, encouragement, and help you discover your own magnificent connection to that self beyond sight. Until next time.